Hello everyone, TLSG here. Today we have a very spicy build. This is a Living Tribunal deck, but it has so many different play lines and kind of ways to misdirect your opponent that it's really hard for them to gauge what you're planning to do on any given turn. So the previous Living Tribunal deck that I posted used an Iron Lad, used a Jubilee, along with Magic, Electro, and Wave as ways to cheat out and get through the entirety of your deck. This one is looking more so to do the Electro and Wave like normal so that you can cheat out your Onslaught, Iron Man, and Living Tribunal all into the same lane. But if you're already ramping, why not add Galactus? And so that is what this build does. We added Galactus, we took out Luke Cage, which was a little bit, sometimes he was value added, but a lot of times I'm not seeing Affliction style decks, and so it wasn't a whole lot of benefit for having him built in. And then we also have Kang. I'm not sold on Kang, but the only other thing I can think of would be Jubilee, and with Galactus, Jubilee is usually kind of inconsistent. You don't know what you're going to pull and when, and so it becomes really tough to navigate. You could do a Magic, but then your curve is incredibly large still. Sometimes Kang is going to do the same thing as Magic would in allowing you to draw an additional card if you can play Kang on the turn that you drew him. And so we're going to go ahead and jump straight into a gold conquest. It is all Team Basket today. I tried to move the camera to 2 different dogs and they left within 10 seconds. So it's all Team Basket today. Basket lovers can rejoice. We're going to go ahead and jump into a gold conquest. Thank you guys as always for being here. I hope you guys enjoy. All right, first is Ophion, and Onslaught Citadel is beautiful. We have our Iron Lad to potentially get the Iron Man. We have the Onslaught and Living Tribunal. So as long as we can cheat out a card, we get one of our ramp components in the Electro or the Wave. This is our game. I don't think there's anything they can do to stop us once we get this plan in action. Now, ideally, we're going to get an Iron Man, but we can always do a Hail Mary Iron Lad to try to hit either Ant-Man, Jeff, Iron Man, maybe Claw. Claw could be pretty good as well. And the opponent snaps back, which is what we want this deck to do, is steal an 8 cube right off the bat, and then once they learn your kind of game plan or strategy, you can kind of navigate from there. So they have a Collector. I'm wondering if they're running a bounce deck, and they're going to have the Iron Man into the Onslaught Citadel. If so, we're okay with that. We're perfectly fine with that, actually. And we get the Iron Man, we get the Onslaught, we get the Living Tribunal. This is going to be a massacre, and I'm here for it. Let's lock in the Electro in the left lane. Let's see the Bast. Okay, so it does look like bounce. Oh, the Onslaught, the Spider Ham is so brutal. It hits our Onslaught. We still have some decent reach in the Iron Man because that's going to count as an Onslaught anyways. It's just not as cool. Like, this would have been a phenomenal amount of power, and I honestly forgot about the Spider Ham for a second. Being as common as he is, it's unfortunate. All right, so they go Falcon, so they're going to try to play Spider-Ham one additional time here. I think they go Falcon and Hit Monkey. They have the really cool variant for Falcon. I don't use Falcon enough to justify it. Claw, beautiful. Ant-Man, Jeff, all fine. And so then we could lean in. Oh, wait. No, we have to go Living Tribunal this turn. That way we dodge the potential for the Spider-Ham. Otherwise, it's going to guarantee hit our Living Tribunal and we're dead in the water. And so they drop the Spider Ham again. We're perfectly fine. We don't care what it hits. It's going to go back to the Onslaught, which has already been hit. The Hit Monkey comes back in, so it's going to be a cheap Hit Monkey. They're going to play Spider Ham a third time, so they're going to get some pretty good reach. They could still do Hit Monkey, Iron Man, and just all kinds of monstrosity things. Man, I really wish that we had the Onslaught. This would be insane. So Claw is going to do 4 here, and so that's 4, 8, 16 power here, and then 12 here. So it's 28. Would it be more beneficial to just do 7, 14, 28? Or we could even do Iron Lad to try to hit Ant-Man. It's the 1 out of 3, but if we hit Ant-Man, this blows up to insane proportions. I don't know which is better. We're going to go Claw. I think they go Iron Man in the left lane. They do flood an awful lot of power. And it looks like they're going to stack into just 2 locations knowing we have the Living Tribunal, which is unfortunate. We're stuck at just 20 power in each lane. Can we beat 20 power in each lane? Maybe. They have the big Hit Monkey in the right lane, the Collector. Oh, yeah. We should beat that, right? Definitely. We are able to grab the 8 cubes very early on against Ophion, against the bounce deck. Jumping into round 2, we have Ant-Man starting out. We do have Electro to ramp into the Iron Man. Beautiful value. Getting hit with the Spider Ham right now is going to hit the Onslaught once again. Unfortunate, but it is what it is. And a lot of times in these games, in Conquest, I noticed back-to-back locations. Ooh, Elysium is kind of beautiful for us. It's kind of beautiful for them as well, though. So we could do Electro into an Iron Man, into an Onslaught. Now they snapped. It's only one additional cube. We have a decent enough line. Like, we have some decent cards. A Spider Ham is unfortunate if they had it starting out. Otherwise, we have a lot of potential. Okay, so the Hood and the Collector. Perfect. Perfectly fine. They are going to be able to have that big flood. Necrotia is wild. So I guess we go Iron Man in mid. We can always go Galactus on 4. And then they really don't have much space to play in. Maybe we should have held the Iron Man. Yeah, we probably should have held the Iron Man. Oh, what are we thinking? Hold the Iron Man, just skip here. Don't even be greedy, like a skip or a claw into a Galactus, into an Iron Man, into an Onslaught. There's nothing they could have done to stop that. Unfortunate. Let's go 1-800 Galactus in the left lane. Maybe we catch them off guard and they play a lot of their cards out, and then they're just going to be left without. Okay, so the Bast... Unless this is Demon, they Bast their Demon, which I've done before. Definitely a possibility, definitely something I've done in the past. Okay, so if we can draw... No, we've already played our Ant-Man. Ant-Man's gone. Onslaught doesn't give us any value here, other than just raw points. And so, Kang. Kang, we do it? Yes, I think we can. We're going to use Kang. We'll draw a different card. And maybe we can get Professor X and lock them out of the location. We'll see. What do they have coming down? Iron Man? No, just Hood. Crazy. That's a crazy turn 5 play. I guess they're wanting to try to get some reach on maybe the Hit Monkey. Still kind of crazy. Okay, so Living Tribunal. We have a 1 out of 3 shot here. So I think we go Iron Lad. If we hit Professor X, perfect. If we hit Wave, also decent. Jeff would be the worst outcome, the worst one that we could get, because a Wave is going to restrict them to only 1 card on the last turn. So the best they can do would be a Chavez, and so that we're definitely going to be able to outpower the Chavez. I still wish we would have saved the Iron Man into the Onslaught. That would have been a very fitting, beautiful way to end this. Let's go ahead and play the Onslaught. We will take round 1 of gold in 2 battles. And that is what this deck wants to do. It wants to take the opponent by surprise, get them in a situation where they have a good hand, and they either snap you or they snap back, and then you can steal and swindle 8 cubes away. Next up, we have Joe Go. First location is Westview. We have our Ant-Man, so we're going to go ahead and play it out into the left lane. We have Iron Lad to dig through our deck. We have Kang on 5. Ooh, a Deadpool. So this is going to be a destroy deck. Galactus doesn't do us all that many favors. Professor X could be pivotal in this matchup. We could go Electro, but as long as the Superflow is active, we don't need to. And so I'm not going to cause that restriction and let them know that we're going to go down to 1 card per turn until they just absolutely have to know. So we're going to be able to do our Iron Lad. We have some really good hits right here. I'm going to go ahead and go Iron Lad into Necrotia. I think they probably play into Westview. Ooh, and they snap on us. Let's go ahead and snap right back. Gut feeling, we're going to hit Professor X here. It's my gut read. The 1 out of 6. Iron Man's not incredible in Necrotia because it does have that -2 affliction. The Deadpool comes back down. The Killmonger takes out our Ant-Man. That's fine. That's fine. They're going to have a potential Knull that's pretty big. Okay, it's Jeff. Jeff isn't bad. Jeff can rove the board. We get plenty of value out of him. So turn 4, let's go Claw. We have the Onslaught. We have Kang to lean in on towards the end to see what their last turn play is. Maybe get a feel for if they have a Knull. Okay, so 3 stack in the right lane. The Bucky Barnes, the Deadpool, and the Carnage. They're going all the way through. That is 3 of probably 4 destruction triggers that they've already used. So now we have to look out for the Death, the Knull, maybe a Sabretooth, a Venom, maybe Phoenix Force even? I know it's kind of weird, but I've seen some Phoenix Force decks rise up. We go Claw, we go Onslaught, we go Kang on 6, and then I try and figure out the math on this. I tried to figure out the math on where our power will lie after everything is said and done. The 16 power Deadpool is big. We do have a pretty big Superflow so far. Iron Man is big. So if they don't, for whatever reason, if they don't fight for the Superflow, we can always move our 6 power Jeff over into the Superflow if 18 power will win it. And then Iron Man, beautiful value in the Onslaught lane. Let's go Kang, and we'll get a feel for what they're running. We don't know if we're going to be able to win this one or not. They do have probably a pretty big Knull. And right now, they don't know we have the Kang, so they have no reason to feign or fake a turn. And so they go 3 out of their 4 cards. Death and Deadpool in mid, and then Knull in the left lane. All are massive. There is no way we beat that, right? This doesn't do it. All right. Well, our big surprise finisher. If we had a... No. I was going to say if we had Galactus, we could try to surprise them, but no, we can't. All right. That's unfortunate. Knowing they had that solid play, we're going to back out. It stings to go down 4 early, but it's better than 8. It is much better than going down 8 early. We have Ant-Man. I'm going to go ahead and hold it. Just knowing that they have the Killmonger play, we're going to hold it. Now, they didn't do anything like flashy. This is just so far what looks like a normal destroy. They could have a Nimrod, but seeing the Deadpool and some of these other cards, I kind of doubt it. So they won't really be able to fight for Luke's bar, right? We could always try to get a Professor X lock there. We have Claw to reach over in that direction, so a Claw, Iron Man, Onslaught to win here and here, I think could be pretty cool. After turn 4, they can destroy their Deadpool every single turn if they have it. A Deadpool and a Killmonger here and then bounce back in. Deep Space, their Death can go there, but their Knull won't be able to. Let's go Wave. Forge, wow. Forge into the Deadpool to start his Snowball early. Forge is very niche in a Deadpool deck. This gives us a lot of power here and a lot of power over here. We'll snap into it. 12 power in Luke's bar. I don't think there's any way they beat that. And then this is a pretty large amount of power. I don't know exactly what it's going to end up being. 14 quadrupled, so 28, like 40 something. I think we should be okay there. I get the Carnage, so the Bucky Barnes lands. Decent sized Carnage as well. A Death and a Knull here would be kind of scary. Ooh, we could just go Living Tribunal, right? Living Tribunal is going to be more raw power here than our Claw. It ends up being like 28-ish power per lane, I believe. Does that win it for us? I don't know. Yeah, it should help us win Deep Space, I think. Okay, the Deadpool and the Venom. This Titan location is going to be massive. 24 power they can get in Deep Space pretty much for free. I guess because we have it, we can Kang and see their play. I think with Living Tribunal, this is 40 and then 6, 12, 24, so it goes up to 64. That's 21 or 22 per lane, which is not all that impressive when you start thinking about it. Ooh, we get a small chip in the armor. Not quite as much as the chip that they took out of us, but let's jump into battle number 3, see if we can continue the forward momentum. They still don't know we have Galactus, by the way. That could win us a game at some point. So Nowhere comes down. Nowhere's not terrible for us. As long as we're not leaning into the Iron Lad, we could stack our ongoings in Nowhere and be fine. Not have to worry about it. Tinkerer's Workshop brings us up to 3, but if we wave, we won't be able to do anything next turn. So we're going to go ahead and start with our Jeff. We have Iron Lad, Claw, and Iron Man, so some phenomenal cards. If we draw a 6 cost, then we'll definitely use Wave on them, though. They do have the Sabretooth. It just took a very long time for us to see it. And they have a black and white Sabretooth at that. That is a lot of teeth being used. We can't get the extra value in the White Hot Room. We just don't have a low curve. They might be able to, but we cannot. All right, let's go Wave. We're going to go Wave. Ooh, 2 cards there. Wolverine Nova. They won't be able to destroy it on 4, but they will be able to destroy it or have it capped by turn 5, so they'll get the 3 extra energy on turn 6, which can be scary. We're going to save our Kang for the turn 6 read. We didn't get a 6 cost, but we have some really good potential pulls here. So this is going to be 9 if we go with it. If we hit Professor X, this would be 9, and we could block them out. That's the 1 out of 5. Galactus could potentially be it as well, which I don't know if we want Galactus, but it would be what it would be. Onslaught is also really big, because then we could have 2 Onslaughts. I think we're okay here. Let's go Iron Lad. We'll leave Jeff for now. If it hits Professor X, we can always move it in there retroactively. They go Forge. Okay. Can we lock them in with Professor X? No, but Onslaught is massive. Onslaught, Iron Man? Or I guess Onslaught, Iron Man, and then we have the chance for Living Tribunal. That's a big white hot room lane, but from there it gets very scary very quick. Now if we top deck Living Tribunal, beautiful. But if not, we'll see. Okay, so Iron Man 24, they do get the Carnage, so they'll have the extra energy for the last turn of the game, which is unfortunate. But it is what it is. They've destroyed a handful of cards, so 2, 3, 4 at least. I think 5, so I think Death is probably 3, which is the extra energy they got. We do get Ant-Man instead of anything of value. I think we have to retreat out of this one. Unless we thought 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 would be enough. And maybe, let's throw the Kang down and see. We have 15 potential power in mid. We have 4, 5, 6, 7 extra power in the left lane. Oh, wait. If they go the same path, we win. And they could have hidden their Knull. They could have done that just to toy with us and keep us in here. But we don't know. We don't know if that's what they were doing or not. Claw is going to reach into the white hot room. Let's see. Let's see if they were messing with us. Do they go same exact play? They could have switched the Deadpool and the Death, or the Sabretooth and the Death. Nope, Death in the left lane, beautiful. Sabretooth mid, Deadpool mid. We get the overpowered 14 power in mid. We overload the right lane. Wow. Kang made that possible. Otherwise, I'm retreating in this scenario every single time. So we do go up. They have 4 bars left. We have 6. We have a slight advantage. Maybe we have 5. I don't know. We have 5 or 6. Okay, Collapse Mine is huge for their Death. So it's automatically free. Which they haven't had much of an issue. It's 1 cube. It's yours. You take it. Because they can use Death and Venom to pump up a Knull. Knowing that we don't have a Shang-Chi, it's too easy for them to ramp up that big power with the Death and Venom. So we're just going to let them have that one. We're going to play it meticulously, slowly, cautiously, carefully. Galactus. Could this be the way the game ends? That'd be beautiful. If we surprise them with a Galactus into a Professor X and just giggle our way to victory, I mean, I would take it. We do have the wave as well. We can always wave into a Professor X lock. That may be safer, depending on what cards we have once the wave comes down. Lemuria. That's not what we wanted to see. Well, let's go ahead and wave. I'm really bummed that the puppies, like one was laying on the couch, I turned the camera, and it's like she knew that Team Basket was rooting for them to leave. She got up and left immediately. I shifted to the one that was laying in this bed, and she left immediately as well. The Claw here is unfortunate. Let's go ahead and go Claw, or I mean the Ant-Man here is unfortunate. Let's go ahead and do that. We have Galactus. I don't know that it's worthwhile, because this makes their Death pretty cheap still. We can't really lock them in. It's not like the bounce encounter where it gave us value from locking them into only 4 slots. All right, so where all do they play is the game we're going to be playing. We can always go Professor X lock into a Claw if we need to get additional reach. We could hit this within Onslaught to double down here. Oh, wow, they haven't destroyed anything yet. I mean, but if we destroy and do Galactus, this bounces here. This bounces here. Do we run a Kang? Do we run a Kang and see? They do have initiative. Kang, or we just slap Professor X in the left lane and hope for the best. They can only do one destruction here, so they have to choose. Their death is going to be pretty expensive. Their Knull is not going to be huge. Let's go Professor X in the left lane. I think that's our key to win here. They do go Venom. They choose to use their one. Ooh, depending on where Wolverine bounces to. To the right, the left is unfortunate. Deeply unfortunate. Because now we can't get the Ant-Man bonus from the Onslaught. I mean, this is always a potential play, but Wolverine bounces, and so it'd be 6, 7, 8. Well, we would lose after that. We're going to have to back out of this one. We can win this lane with just the Jeff, but there's no way we get the additional reach anywhere else. I'm going to go Kang just to do it, just to see their turn, and then we'll go. Death on the right is big, and then Sabretooth. We'll catch you next time. We're going to go down. We're down. These are big games, like 2s and 4s galore. All it takes is one more big one. I guess 2 more big ones now. Okay, Asteroid M. We do have our wave. We haven't seen Killmonger all that often, but I don't know that we play Ant-Man outright either. Looking at this, we have the wave into the Galactus. If we can stop them from having very many cards destroyed, maybe that gives us value. Ooh, Triskelion. I don't know that it's good, but it's something. Howard the Duck and Ant-Man could give us insight onto like an Iron Lad play. I don't think we've gotten a single Professor X lock this round or this battle. Okay, Yellow Jacket and then the Wolverine. So they are going to have probably the Carnage, Deathlock, or Venom. Oh my God. Central Park came in and said, nah, not without a Killmonger, you're not. Okay, so next is Jeff. Let's go wave. But if we wave, what benefit do we get? The Living Tribunal? That's not huge. We can't Galactus anymore. Maybe they Killmonger this turn? No, they Deathlock. They may not have the Killmonger in hand or in play. We know that our next card is going to be Jeff, courtesy of the Howard. Oh, wait, we're going to pull over into the left lane. That's unfortunate. I suppose it is what it is. Next is Professor X. So we can go for a Professor X on 5. I think I'm just going to go Living Tribunal here. That's not very much power, though. The only thing bigger is Galactus. Let's go Living Tribunal. We're going to save the Kang, because I don't think it's worthwhile to use right now. Morph into Cyclops. Okay. Could have been better. Or could have been better for them. Could have been worse as well. We have initiative. We can maybe stop them from destroying this lane if they stack cards. Our overall power, though, is abysmally weak. Let's go Professor X in the right lane, and then we'll see. They do get the Killmonger. Unfortunate. But they leave us. I guess we could play over here one turn. Oh, never mind. I was going to say we could also try to Galactus here, but that's not going to happen. Carnage does come down. They do it after the Killmonger, which is weird, because they probably shouldn't. I feel like we have to retreat here. We're gonna pressure with the Kang and then leave. The sad thing is this is not much power on their end. Like, this is kind of awful, but there's really nothing we can do to stop it, right? We're gonna go down, you guys. We're not quite out, but we are awfully close. It's still gonna take 2 back-to-back, but we are awfully close to being tapped out here. Okay, Ant-Man, Living Tribunal, Kang. Get the Onslaught, beautiful. Let's hold the Ant-Man for now. It is unfortunate that they have the Killmonger, but it's very common right now, so we don't rely too much on Ant-Man. It's nice whenever we do have it. I guess we go Ant-Man in the right lane. I'm sure that they Killmonger eventually, but this at least encourages them to have to do that. So the Bucky Barn comes down. Titan allows us to do Onslaught without a ramp component, or Living Tribunal without a ramp component as well. We're still going to wave, because I want to slow them down. I don't want them to play too many cards. So I want to make it hard for them to do a Deadpool plus a Venom, or a Nova plus a Venom, or something of that nature. Let's go Onslaught. Claw becomes useless in this lane, and we couldn't have played it in here. Okay, so Death goes ahead and comes down. Interesting. Galactus in mid is always a possibility. Let's go Living Tribunal. And then if we get Iron Man, perfect. If we don't, not perfect. If we don't get Iron Man, we're going to have to do some kind of Hail Mary with like Claw plus... No, just Claw. I don't know. We'll see. Living Tribunal is one of the better plays we could do right now. We could do a Kang. We can't do Galactus this turn into Miniaturized Lab because it's locked. We can't do it in the left lane because of Wave. Living Tribunal may be what gives us that initiative or grabs us that initiative. But if they destroy this lane at this turn, we won't be able to do that. So they do. The Forge into Carnage. Yeah, that's going to be big. That's going to be real big. The Sabertooth coming down at the free 4 cost. Iron Man. Oh, well. I think that should do it. No Knull here. If so, Knull wherever. We just overpower it. All right, let's lock it in. We need... I don't foresee a way that this goes poorly. Maybe the Ant-Man? But as long as we win this one, we need one more. We need one more to pull this one home. It'd be nice to make him kneel before Galactus. I guess we could have Kanged, but I guess there's not a necessity. And we don't win the right lane, but we win the left and the middle. Even without the Ant-Man. And so we are one battle away from stealing this battle from Jogo. Going into round number 8, we do have our Living Tribunal to start. We have our Wave. A location like Nidavellir is much better for the opponent than it is for us unless we have our ideal setup. Let's go ahead and skip on the Ant-Man again this turn. We don't know if we're going to need it. New York allows us to adjust our cards around the board, so we could try to set up for a Galactus potentially. Let's go Ant-Man. It will eventually get destroyed, but we're going to do it. We have Wave into the Living Tribunal into the Iron Man is our tentative line, because then all we need is the Onslaught to really have something going for us. Let's go Wave. Restrict to what they can destroy. They could get a lot of free destructions in Murder World this turn, which is kind of unfortunate. Just the one free destruction, so we can deal with that. We're all right with that. Galactus on... Wait. Hold on. Galactus on 4. On Iron Man on 5. Onslaught on 6. Can they beat that? That's 14... 28... I don't think they can beat that. We do have to worry that they drop Death this turn, though. Is it worth the risk? As if we do Onslaught and then Iron Man on 5, Living Tribunal, I don't think they can overcome what we have anyways. My gut tells me if we're going to Galactus, we Galactus into New York because they know they can move their cards there later on. We could potentially destroy their Death, but then the Knull brings it back. This is the fun line. The other one's probably, knowing they don't have a counter tool, the other one's the big boy line. Okay, it would have went off and then Knull would just be placed in mid, so it could have been really, really scary. But they would have had to destroy this lane. We would have had it. I think we probably have it anyways. But we would have extra had it. Had we dropped our Galactus. I got worried. Because if they had dropped Death and countered it, we would have been out of luck. There would have been no way we could overcome what they could do at that point. But as is, we should be able to. Okay, so the Wolverine, the Bucky Barnes, the Winter Soldier, the Sabertooth. So the Nova, I imagine that they have Killmonger. We're going to just stack this, and we're going to leave Ant-Man by himself. 28 power is all we need. I guess this is about 20-something-ish in each lane. They have quite a bit of power, though. They might be able to... No, that's a lot to overcome. Even with a free Death, they've already dropped their Knull, which is their second... they're really their only other big power play. They have a Sabertooth, so maybe a Sabertooth and a Venom in the Murder World location. Either way, we were making it incredibly tough for Jogo to figure out his proper play lines. I do wish we had went with the Galactus, though, just to make them kneel one time. Okay, so they fully stack in mid. What do they go with in the left lane? Death? Because if it's death in the left lane, that's fine. The Nova is big. Their right lane's weak. Wait. And they played this last card after the Killmonger stuff. It's Deathlock. They could have got an extra +1 on it. But they misordered it. That should be it. Left and right lane are ours. They can have the middle location. We will take the round 8 victory against Jogo using the very unique build. I'm always going to regret not Galactusing in that situation. We're going to go ahead and jump straight into battle number 3, see if we can grab an Infinity ticket with Living Tribunal, with Kang, with Galactus. Oh, no. No. Safety Blade, no. Oh. Next up, we have fellow content creator Safety Blade. And the last time I matched against Safety Blade, it was in silver, but it was the most grueling battle I've had in a very long time. It was very, very back and forth. It was, it came down to, I think, 9 rounds, and it could have went either way, depending on if they played like a play in a particular way or not. Oh, ooh, Project Pegasus. So they have Jeff. Do we go cheeky Professor X Lock here? Cheeky Professor X Lock plus Wave allows us to potentially Galactus next turn as well. Let's do it. We haven't played into Ant Maze, so ours won't bounce, or our Professor X would normally bounce out, but it's not going to this time around. Ooh, so they have the Brood, the Sarah. So they're a Silver Surfer. They're rocking Silver Surfer here. It's a tough call, but I'm going to snap back. We have initiative. Our Galactus will go off in the Isle of Silence. Maybe they storm it. I don't know. Otherwise, our Onslaught, our Iron Man are not the ideal lines anymore. But this helps us with the Brood out of the way, the Sarah out of the way. Let's go Galactus into mid, see what they go with. They go with 1 card in mid. They go 1 card in mid. Let's see what it is. I'm assuming this is Silver Surfer. So they have Invisible, and this could be Storm. Storm would be wild here, though. Maximus. Okay. We don't have initiative, so I'm afraid to play the Kang. All right, Iron Lad, Ant-Man, Onslaught is our last play. Let's see what they plop down. Nova, big. Killmonger. Okay, so that buffs this up a decent amount. It really comes down to what version of Silver Surfer they're running. We get the Claw. It's not going to do us any good. So this goes to 22. Can they beat 22? Go up to 25 if they have Polaris. If they have a more common, like, I don't know, Juggernaut. The 23. This goes up to 21. We can't beat them. But we have initiative, so we can do the Kang read to find out. What are they going to end at? The Gambit is, unfortunate. The Gambit's very unfortunate here. All right. They do end up at 23 anyways, with the 3/3 Gambit. We're gonna lose 4 early. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is. This Isle of Silence location, had it not been Isle of Silence, this was our game hands down. I guess with the Gambit, it could have been either way, but we'll we've been down early 4 before. We'll see if we can claw our way back up. Safety Blade is an incredible player, and so it's going to be tough. And Silver Surfer is very strong right now. We'll see if we're able to at least make this an interesting and close battle. Maybe even bring it all the way home. So Savage Land, Killmonger fodder for them. Electro into Claw into Onslaught. I don't think they're going to have a Rogue, but we do always have to worry about the Gambit play. That dang Gambit play is something we're always a little fearful of. They could, no. I was going to say they could have Killmonger, but... So we have Electro into Professor X or into Iron Man. Really, really depending on what we end up getting. Now, Gambit... Gambit hitting a Living Tribunal whenever that was our winning play, awful. Onslaught, Iron Man, very scary. And I don't like it. I don't like it one bit. They do have the Polaris. And so very high raw power value cards. I think he plays in mid, but we are going to try to Professor X lock mid. The reason for that is we have Claw plus Onslaught, so we can get some additional reach into this right lane. Possibly. I think they do play. Hopefully it's the Brood and it doesn't expand. No, it's the Rogue. Interesting. Wait, why would you ever play Rogue there? They could have hamstringed themselves with the Electro. It was a bold call. Bold call, my friend. I wish they would have grabbed Electro, but this goes up. I mean, do we even need to do the Claw? I don't know if we need to do the Claw or not. Because this lane, they do a Silver Surfer that goes up to 4. They do a Silver Surfer plus a Nova. It goes up to 5, so it's just a tie at best. Wait, they have Jeff. All right, we're going to go with this. We're going to go with this. I don't know if it wins or not, but it's only for 1 additional cube. And so we're going to send it and see. I don't know. We're going to send it and see. Okay, so the Jeff comes down. And they do 2 cards on the right. So the Raptor, perfectly fine, to be expected. We should easily win this left lane now. But it comes down to winning the middle location once the Silver Surfer comes down. No, the Gambit. Oh, the Gambit takes out our... Okay, no, it tries for Electro. It doesn't take out our Iron Man. And so we are very comfortable in the left lane. We do win mid. We get 2 bars of the 4 health back. Let's see if we can continue doing that. With the Gambit, this is going to be a tough one. Gambit and Rogue are wild. So wild. Morag, so they may not have the Storm play, which is kind of interesting. Ooh. Onslaught Citadel could reward us playing there early and then Morag switching over into it. We do have Electro again, though. Ooh, we get their Gambit. I don't know if we ever use it. It's fun to have, though. Or Electro into Iron Man, into Onslaught, into Living Tribunal. No, they have Gambit. That makes our plays always so much more difficult because we can't rely on our cards to be alive. Unfortunately. Gambit would take out 1 of our 4. We would have to hope that it hit Electro. Otherwise, so it'd be a 25% chance. I'm going to Kang snap them back. We're going to play Kang now and get a feel for, for what they're doing. Okay, so just the Killmonger so far. And Morag does go into the right lane. And so after this turn, we actually won't have to fight for that location anymore. You know, knowing what we know in Claw. Claw's decent. A potential Claw on 5 into Onslaught, maybe. But we still have to worry about the Gambit play, yeah? And the Rogue play. Nah, we'll retreat out of this one. The Rogue is so wild from Safety Blade. I would not have anticipated the Rogue. It's so uncommonly ran because ongoings really aren't that common right now. But it's absolutely derailing our potential with this deck in particular. Okay, Electro ramp into Claw into Onslaught is big. Electro ramp into Claw into Onslaught into Living Tribunal, decent. It's not as good as the Iron Man line, but it's decent nonetheless. All right, we're back to basket. The Nova, we get Elysium, and we draw into our Galactus here. Next turn would be 3. We can bump it up to 4. Let's bump it up to 4 with Electro. Wow, they go ahead and do the Killmonger early. Interesting. Galactus on 4, Iron Man on 5, Onslaught on 6. If they don't have Gambit, unbeatable. If they have Gambit, very beatable. All right, let's do this. We don't want Elysium to remain. I want to try to take away some of their up ability. I'm going to go Claw. That'll hopefully help us win Baxter Building to give us initiative over the rest of the game. I hope. Yeah, we do grab initiative with the Claw reach. Galactus. Hold on now. Galactus into Professor X. Could be a kind of cool line depending on what they drop here. Or Galactus into Iron Man into a Professor X to protect ourselves from the Gambit play. Could be an interesting route as well. Ah, we snapped too late. Oops. We're going to snap after they kneel, and so that's kind of unfortunate. So hopefully Brood. Brood would have been beautiful in that scenario. But unfortunately, it was not. Let's go Iron Man. And then I think we have to hit the Professor X. Like, unless we get Kang, we can kind of experiment a little bit. They retreat before it goes to 2. That's unfortunate. Had I snapped ahead of time. But we take 1 more bar of health. They take 1 more damage. It's going to be a very long and tedious game. Ant-Man, to start off, is big. Galactus would be the highest power card outside of their Maximus until they get buffs down. We're going to hold Ant-Man again. I want to play it, but knowing they have the Killmonger, it just doesn't feel good to do that. Jeff is big. Jeff is big at helping us grab priority so that our Galactus can be guaranteed to go off. Whether we move it or not, it can help us guarantee that it triggers before whatever they do goes off. I think wave into Professor X. No, wave into Galactus. I don't know. Wave into a Professor X sounds pretty cool in like Throne Room, but so does Galactus. As long as we have initiative, then they can't pull any of our 1 or 2 cost cards with Polaris. Ooh, okay, so the Jean Grey comes down. Interestingly enough, Onslaught, a possibility. Professor X here is also a possibility. And then we do have the Claw. Claw plus Onslaught in the raft. Yeah, let's do that. If they try for a Brood so that they can play in other locations, we're going to stop it before it triggers. Beautiful, beautiful value. That is exactly what we need to happen. Let's go ahead and play Kang on 5, I guess. That will let us draw through more of our deck. I don't necessarily care to play it here, though. I would almost rather play it on the last turn. Completely honest. Even if it means we don't draw anything. All right, let's go Claw to further support the right lane. Sarah's big. Sarah is big here. We do have Galactus, but if they do a Gambit over here, that would be unfortunate. We do draw into our Iron Man. So Iron Man plus Ant-Man. Iron Man plus Ant-Man's not terrible in the raft if they don't have the Killmonger. Let's go Kang here and see. Kang, we win this one. We're going to see. Because right now, buffing up the right lane is not huge. Okay, so Rogue steals our Claw. Wild. All right. And then Polaris becomes 5, 6, 7. Okay, the Polaris plus Silver Surfer in the left lane is really big. With the extra 6, this goes to 15. Like, we can get the Galactus to trigger. But then it's only 14. They have the 14 plus the 2 from Silver Surfer, so they win that one by 2 if they go with that route. Our only hope here is to give them random garbage to pull into. If they hit the Ant-Man, then we can win. It's a 1 out of 3. The increase in our stakes is not worse than a 1 out of 3. And so we're going to gamble it. It's better than going down to 1 bar of health. We're going to gamble it on them using Rogue and grabbing the Ant-Man. Hopefully. We get Giganto. That would have been great earlier. The Ant-Man, the Iron Man. Can we get the lucky 1 out of 3? That is what it's going to take here. Oh, shoot. Okay. Okay, never mind. The Rogue does hit Iron Man, but that's going to be more than enough for him. The Polaris pull was big. The Rogue is what held that one home. Them being able to have that Rogue to steal the heavy ongoing, that was the difference maker. Like, the rest of it's pretty standard, pretty boiler, but the Rogue was big. We're going to go ahead and end the video here. I know that it ended on a loss. I also don't want to do all wins. This is a decent deck. If there are Enchantress, Rogue, maybe Echo, very commonly in the meta, maybe it's not the best. But if there's Echo, you can always do Electro into the Echo lane and then play the rest of your stuff out of that location, and that'd be beautiful. But the other two are very problematic. We are going to go ahead and end the video here. I don't know if this one or our other Living Tribunal deck is better. If you're looking for different inspiration, definitely check that one out as well. That's what I hit Infinite this season with. was that other Living Tribunal deck. I'll leave a link to it in the description below. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to give it a like and a comment down below. As always, this has been TLSG. Later, guys.